Today it's absolutely pouring out, and we haven't had rain like this in a long time. So this is actually really good. I know this lawn looks like trash back here. I inherited a trash lawn, and then I missed a window on actually being able to water it to somewhat keep it green, and it just totally burnt out. So at least it's turning green again. The weeds are turning green. This is something I'm not going to really get to until next spring season. But the rain is good. It looks like it's coming in from this side. And you have a sunroom, and ooh, that's wet. What can you do? That's why you have this stuff out here. Hopefully the computer's not getting wet. No, it's just very humid. Look at that. 97% humidity. It's basically like wet air. You can see the deck, and I gotta get a pressure washer to do. I gotta pressure wash like the whole outside of the house here. But I haven't really been here long enough to see what the rain is kind of doing to the house and how it drains. Now Eddie just cleaned the gutters on the side of the house. I should put my hat on. And I do have problems in the basement because we need to be better graded out here, and this is one area. But I kind of solved it because these gutters were stuffed when I moved in, and I cleaned them just with pine needles, those pine needles. So my fear is I'm going to have to do grading under this deck, which involves tearing this up. But I think if it's just proper cleaning the gutters, I might be okay. The other issue is here. This needs to be regraded as well. And part of the problem is this just running out. At least now, I just grabbed that from the garage last weekend, or Eddie did, and that seems to have helped. But we're gonna go down to the basement and check it out. All right. And speaking of pine trees, those are getting cut down within the next week. Those over there and this one, these two groups. Can't wait. All right, now that I got the camera all wet, it's awesome. All right. Ooh. You know, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees today. It's late September as of this recording, and which is great. But when you get that cold rain, oof, it's not great. So what we're gonna do is take a look down here. Oh boy, there it is. Not good. So again, it's coming in through the bottom. It's because this is not graded properly. And no amount of dehumidifiers and whatnot will stop this. Now, I know by just grading that out there, it will fix the problem. Now let's take a look around down here and see what else we got. Because this is the most rain that we've had since I've acquired this home. So I think everything else is okay. I think it's just that one area. And even with me putting that rain gutter there, ooh, that's off. The power did go out while I was out of town. I was in Canada. So over here, this is where I was getting water, where I showed you on that front deck. And that is blurry, probably because the lens is wet. Sorry. There we go. Once I removed those pine needles, this dried out. What I want to do in this area is, and that's important because what I want to do in this area is repaint these walls, ultimately the whole basement, but just start a section at a time. Repaint these walls, paint the floor, and then I want to put, I have this special fan shelf, that back wall. I want to put this table here, and then I want to set those pallets up behind it for air conditioners, overflow for fan projects, whatnot. So I want to kind of make this, I guess you could say, my studio. I don't want to say a studio. I want to say more like a work area. But yeah, I can shoot a lot of videos here because I'm doing them upstairs in the kitchen area when I'm not out in the garage because the garage is not fully set up yet. So the RH down here is 70. So what I did was I set up these as auxiliary. Well, that's a portable air conditioner, but also has the ability to be a dehumidifier. I set it up as a secondary one. The reason why I did that one, this is the one that came with the house, and it's stuck on like, I don't know, like 30 for RH. Or 20, I think set at 25 or 30. So basically it's constantly running, and it does get very dry down here, which is good. So normally, the only way to drain this continuously at this point in time is by running it out the bulkhead. Because it's the fall, it gets cold at night. I don't want to invite in unwanted guests. And so far there hasn't really been a sign at all that they're here. I get services for it outside. So right now I just have to be aware to empty these buckets, and that's why I have the second one there. So I don't know what that defaults at setting at, because there's not really a setting. You can't adjust the RH on it. It just like you put it in dehumidify, it fills up the bucket. So I figured that one really won't do any work when this one's going. And then when this one fills up, that one takes over. So it's kind of like to extend the life of it. I have to think of a way. I know in the other location, there was a shelf built like up, basically between where that window would be and the pipes, a shelf built up there, actually to the left of the window, and a hose that comes out the back of the humidifier. So the shelf holds the dehumidifier, and then the hose runs into one of these pipes. It was a plumber or somebody must have installed that, and it can run continuously. That also has a French drain system where you could shove a hose down the little hole, and it has sub pumps, which I've never heard them function other than a test mode. That's a whole different story. Maybe another video to talk about that whole situation there. So this is kind of what's going on here. I have to, one, do the grading, and I did do, and I'll have to do a checkout video. I did do a lot of landscaping last weekend where I pruned the front, and I got to go back and weed whack. And then I want to start getting, at the local transfer station or dump here, you can get clean fill. And I just want to start bringing it in and start grading the front there. So this way I can pull the water away, have it run away from the front of the house. And because this is what we're getting here. So what I'm going to do is, because I can't do more than two things at once, it seems, I'm going to dump this, and I need two hands to do it. So I'm gonna put you on pause. All right, so I just emptied this one. It's so noisy. So yeah, that's doing its thing. Yeah, people have commented this is a piece of junk. It's what I inherited with the house. I'm gonna deal with it. I gotta probably service it. Yeah, I gotta service it, I'm sure. I'll get there. I have some it's like the project list just keeps going. Fired up the Lasco to move air around that. This is probably going to continue until the rain stops. We have heavy rain. We've had no rain all summer. This is back on. It's not full. It's interesting, you put this on dehumidifier mode and it blows out cooler air. That blows out warm air. So I'm going to create a tropical storm in the basement. And then I also have this air purifier. Now the cool thing is I've eliminated the odor down here. It was just very damp for a while when I first moved in, the first couple months. I remember it was Father's Day that Eddie and I came down here. We spent the whole afternoon on Father's Day, all the cobwebs. We swept the walls, we swept the floors, we shot back, we put up those, and I did videos on those little, those odor eaters or whatever they're called. They're not called odor eaters, but they absorb the smell and whatnot. They've done a good job. I have them all over the place down here. I had this air purifier on. So my point being is, this morning when I came down here after being gone for a week, it didn't smell damp and musty. So we're keeping it dry. And despite the rain outside, I mean, we're not totally keeping it dry, but we're not keeping it from smelling. So I'm going to turn this on. My old friend here, you know, somebody really clobbered me in one of the videos I did on this a while ago about how disgusting it was. Now, keep in mind, I have multiple examples of these. Some of them I no longer have access to because they're at my last company. They were bought during COVID, as I talked about, and left in service for 5 years, and nobody touched them. So the videos I was doing was servicing them, and you know, somebody was just cutting me up in the comments about it. I have another one here that needs a new motor, which this is becoming like, there's stuff there that needs to be stored. It's what is this? Just some things I need to go through. Oh, that's just a pile of extra carpet I gotta figure out what to do with. I wanted to cover it. This fan is a project fan. I'm hoping, I'm struggling to get the blades off the front, and then so I kind of have it off to the side. Some of my box fan collection, and I actually sorted in a certain way. Some that I'm looking to part ways with, some that are projects, and then some that are just like collection. And then I'll start another area for fans that I basically like to use every year, basically the fans that I put in service every year. And I'm really looking forward to having that station over there for that. So I know we kind of digressed. I started talking about the rain, got into the basement, what I want to do down here, but figured to give you guys an update. Last time I had you guys down here, we were sweeping walls and like inhaling dust. So this is definitely an improvement. This is not an improvement. This is the worst I've seen it. This is also the hardest it's rained since I've lived here. But we know it's not coming from the top. So, and we saw that gutter. We saw that piece of gutter pushing it away. It's not pushing it away probably far enough. And ultimately I got to trench that and run it out further, but with an actual PVC pipe. And then it did look like the rest of the front of the house, there's no water running off the front of the roof down against the foundation. So it's just simple excavating. It's just a matter of getting it done. And I hope to be able to start working on it before it gets too cold out. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. You guys are the best. And if someone could recommend one of these, and if for my collectors out there, if you could educate me on, if I'm going to go vintage and it's going to be something that's in service, what should it be? And does anyone have something out there that they're willing to part with? I would always love to have something from a fellow collector. And then I got to figure out a way to continuously drain it. This is just a temporary thing here. It's just, you know, and then of course the fan comes on when Eddie's working out, and we'll get a little moisture. All right, see you soon.